Did you know that 98% of you watching aren't subscribed yet? If you enjoy our terrifying tales and want to keep the chills coming, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Willowbrook Asylum. Even the name sends chills down your spine. It's a place where the walls whisper tales of suffering. The air is thick with sorrow. This isn't just a spooky story. This is a real place with a dark and twisted past. Willowbrook Mental Institution stands as a monument to unimaginable horror. Located on Staten Island, New York, it was once home to thousands of patients with mental disabilities. Patients suffered unspeakable abuse and neglect. Overcrowding was rampant. Basic hygiene was non-existent. Willowbrook is a stark reminder of humanity's capacity for evil. Many believe the spirits of tormented souls still roam the decaying corridors. The conditions inside Willowbrook were deplorable. Patients, many of them children, were crammed into overcrowded wards. The stench of urine and feces permeated everything. It was overwhelming. Basic care was non-existent. Patients were often left in their own filth for days. Food was scarce and medical treatment was practically non-existent. Disease ran rampant. It spread like wildfire through the helpless population. Treatments were often barbaric. Ice baths and electric shock therapy were common. These treatments were meant to control the patients. Instead, they inflicted unimaginable pain and trauma. The screams echoed through the halls. The staff, overwhelmed and undertrained, often resorted to physical restraints. Patients were tied to beds or chairs for hours, sometimes days. Their cries for help went unanswered. The cruelty knew no bounds. One name is forever etched in the dark history of Willowbrook: Dr. Victor Hale. A sinister figure shrouded in mystery. He was the head researcher at Willowbrook for almost 2 decades. His experiments were the stuff of nightmares. Dr. Hale was obsessed with hepatitis, but his methods were unethical and cruel. He deliberately infected patients with the virus. Many patients became severely ill, some even died. He was driven by a dark ambition that clouded his judgment. Whispers of other, more disturbing experiments circulated, patients disappearing, never to be seen again. Dr. Hale eventually disappeared from Willowbrook. What truly happened in his lab remains a mystery, one that continues to haunt the halls of Willowbrook. The year was 1998. A group of 5 friends, drawn by the macabre lure of Willowbrook, decided to explore the abandoned asylum. Armed with flashlights and a sense of bravado, they ventured into the darkness. They would soon regret their decision. As they entered the main building, a wave of icy air hit them. The air was thick with the smell of decay and something else, something unsettling. They could hear whispers coming from the shadows. Their hearts pounded in their chests. They pressed on, their flashlights cutting through the gloom. They came to a room that chilled them to the bone. It was a former patient's room. A wheelchair sat in the corner as if waiting for its occupant to return. Suddenly, one of the friends screamed. He pointed to the corner of the room. There, standing in the shadows, was a shadowy figure. It was tall and gaunt with long, dark hair. Its eyes glowed an eerie red. The friends were paralyzed with fear. They had stumbled upon something truly evil. The figure in the shadows began to move towards them, its eyes never leaving their faces. They knew they had to escape. They turned and ran, their fear propelling them forward. They could hear the figure following them, its heavy footsteps echoing through the halls. They didn't dare look back. They finally reached the front entrance and burst out into the night. They stumbled to their feet and ran until they couldn't run anymore. They never looked back. The friends never spoke of what they saw that night. It was a secret they kept buried deep within their minds, but they could never forget the terror they felt in the presence of the shadow figure. The story of the five friends is just one of many chilling tales associated with Willowbrook. Since its closure in 1987, the asylum has become a magnet for paranormal investigators and thrill seekers alike. They are drawn to its dark history and the possibility of encountering something truly terrifying. Countless reports of paranormal activity have surfaced over the years. People have reported seeing shadowy figures lurking in the corridors. Unexplained noises, disembodied voices, and sudden drops in temperature are common occurrences. Some say the spirits of the patients who suffered and died within those walls still roam the halls, their tortured souls unable to find peace. They are forever bound to the place of their torment. Others believe that Willowbrook is a portal to another dimension, a place where the veil between our world and the next is thin. Whatever the explanation, there is no denying that something dark and sinister lingers within the crumbling walls of Willowbrook. Paranormal investigators have flocked to Willowbrook. They come from all over the world hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. They use a variety of tools and techniques, from EVP recorders to infrared cameras. Some have reported compelling evidence of paranormal activity. EVP recordings have captured disembodied voices, whispering unintelligible words. Photographs have revealed strange anomalies, like orbs of light and shadowy figures. One team of investigators reported witnessing a wheelchair moving on its own. Another claimed to have been physically touched by an unseen entity. The evidence, though often debated, is hard to ignore. Willowbrook continues to be a hotbed of paranormal activity. It is a place that defies explanation, where logic and reason seem to crumble. The spirits of the past linger, their presence felt by those who dare to enter. The horrors of Willowbrook are not just confined to ghost stories. The real tragedy lies in the suffering of the patients who were imprisoned there. They were subjected to unimaginable cruelty and neglect. Their stories serve as a chilling reminder of the dark side of human nature. Willowbrook stands as a monument to our capacity for evil. It is a stark reminder of what happens when we turn away from those who need us most. Even though Willowbrook closed its doors decades ago, the scars it left on the survivors and their families remain. The trauma they endured is a heavy burden to bear. It is our duty to remember what happened at Willowbrook. We must learn from the past and ensure that such atrocities never happen again. The spirits of Willowbrook demand justice. Willowbrook Asylum remains a haunting enigma. Despite years of investigations, many questions remain unanswered. What happened to the patients who disappeared? What dark secrets did Dr. Hale's experiments conceal? Some believe that the answers lie buried deep within the asylum's walls. Others believe that the truth is too horrifying to uncover. The mystery of Willowbrook continues to captivate and terrify. The stories and legends surrounding Willowbrook will likely persist for generations to come. It is a place where fact and fiction blur, where the line between the living and the dead seems to disappear. Willowbrook stands as a chilling reminder of our mortality and the darkness that can lurk within the human heart. It is a place where the ghosts of the past refuse to be silenced. Willowbrook Asylum is more than just a haunted building. It is a symbol of our capacity for both compassion and cruelty. It is a reminder of the importance of protecting the vulnerable and speaking out against injustice. As you stand before the decaying facade of Willowbrook, listen closely. You might hear the whispers of the forgotten souls who once suffered within those walls. Their voices serve as a chilling reminder that the past is never truly gone. The next time you hear a bump in the night or feel a chill down your spine, remember Willowbrook. Remember the suffering, the despair, and the lingering presence of the unknown. For within the crumbling walls of this forgotten asylum, the line between this world and the next is thin indeed, and sometimes the spirits of the past walk among us.